Hello traders, welcome to new weekly Forex ideas video. As always, let's start with the Euro versus the USD. We have a long-term downtrend with this pair and a short-term bullish momentum that can be seen with this ascending channel. I mentioned in last week's video when price was at this area, this bearish candle over here, that we need a daily close above 1.1170 area, then a retest for it to hold the support to start to confirm a short-term uptrend. So we needed a close above this area, then a retest for it to hold as support to start to confirm the uptrend. But as long as price is below 1.1170 resistance area, I will be favoring a bearish move. During the last trading week, price retested this zone again and printed a long bearish pin bar that is rejecting the 200 moving average also. So we have a long bearish pin bar that is rejecting 1.1170 resistance area and the 200 moving average, which explains the sell pressure we have at this level. So we are more likely to see a move lower during the next week to retest 1.1075 area as support one more time, or even lower at 1.10 area. And in that case, we may see a break lower through this ascending channel that may lead to further weakness. However, if this pin bar and the resistance zone fail to hold, then our next resistance area will be at 1.1250 with those highs over here. Next, we have the New Zealand dollar versus the USD. This one has been in a strong bullish momentum for the last 2 trading weeks. Since we got the breakout higher from the weekly resistance zone at 0.6430 area, and price has been only going upwards. But despite having a short-term uptrend over here, the long-term trend is still bearish. And price is currently sitting under a very important area, which is the confluence of horizontal resistance at 0.6590 area and trendline resistance that started earlier this year with this swing high. And now we have a bearish pin bar printed under that confluence of resistance. Therefore, we have a high probability that price may drop as a downtrend continuation. In that case, our next support area is at 0.65, followed by 0.6430. However, if resistance zone and the pin bar fail to hold, then our next resistance area is at 0.6720. Next, we have the Australian dollar versus the USD. This pair has been in a long-term downtrend, and since price hit major weekly support zone at 0.6675 area, price has only been ranging between this support area and resistance zone at 0.6895. But during the last trading week, we got a breakout through resistance zone and the trend line resistance that started since December 2018 with this swing high over here. So during the last week, we got a break higher through the weekly resistance zone and the trend line resistance. Then the week closed with a bearish engulfing candle, rejecting the 200 EMA and closing below the weekly resistance zone one more time to make this breakout a false break. We can see how price closed back under resistance zone over here. Therefore, this pair is more likely to see a further drop in price. In that case, our next support level is at 0.68 with this swing low, or even lower with this lower swing at 0.6760. However, if the engulfing candle failed to hold and price broke higher, then our next resistance is at 0.7010 area. Next, we have the Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. This pair has been in almost a one direction momentum since 13th of November with this candle over here. Price is only falling down, breaking support zones without any problem. So we broke this support zone, second support zone, and third support zone. But price finally made a swing higher after reaching this support area 1.04 to retest old support 1.0480 as new resistance. So we had the first swing after reaching this support area 1.04 to retest this support as new resistance 1.0480. And now we have a solid bearish engulfing candle. During the next week, we may get a chance to join this downtrend. Ideally, we should wait for a retracement for this engulfing candle before selling to have a good risk to reward ratio. To go and test support 1.04 area one more time, or even lower at 1.0340. However, if this resistance zone failed to hold and price broke up higher, then our next resistance zone to be looking for any short signals, 1.0545 area. Finally, we have the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. Again, price has been in a long-term downtrend with this pair. If you noticed, last December we got a strong bearish momentum, followed by a slow retracement to the weekly resistance zone and 200 EMA. Currently, we almost have the same pattern over here. Since price bounced back from support zone 70.70 area, we had a slow retracement to the weekly resistance zone and the 200 EMA. Last Friday, we got a weekly close with a bearish tailed candle rejecting the weekly resistance zone and the 200 EMA and even closing below it. So are we about to see a downtrend continuation? In that case, price is more likely to go down and test those swing lows over here at 73.50 area or even lower at 72.70 area. However, if price broke up higher, we are more likely to go and test 77.50 resistance zone area. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.